Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Back live from the greenhouse.
Do you see how much these baskets have grown?
They are clipping along, and we've got some sunshine this week and some actual spring weather here in northern Wisconsin, so they are going to grow. Yeah.
We're so excited.
Yeah, we got less than 2 weeks now maybe before we open our greenhouses to the public, so yeah.
Have you started
excited.
doing a countdown online?
I did not. No.
Well, we should.
Yeah, we'll have to do that here. So, but today, my job is to plant up some of our vegetable crops, and we want to just kind of take you a little bit behind the scenes, show you how we do that. You look very pretty today.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't look like greenhousey.
I don't. I would never wear white in the greenhouse.
No, absolutely not.
We're going to run down, do a few little errands in Green Bay because we're not going to be able to leave property for quite some time.
We'll be stuck here for for a while, so no employees today.
Like
so
the week and a half, we're going to be like running around with our heads chopped off.
We do all our doctor's appointments, dentist, we do everything. I got a dermatologist appointment this week, so we try to get all this done because until we hit into July, we're not going anywhere off property.
Right. So
yeah.
You're gonna finish up planting, and then we're gonna head out right away.
Yep. Yeah. So, but anyway, so
maybe go look for some new merchandise.
Yep, new shirts and whatever. So yeah, getting all that stuff done. But
Right.
anyway, so we take you a little bit behind the scenes how we seed our vegetable crops, and we do quite a bit this way. Even though there's much better systems, there's actual like automatic seeding machines, and we still use a seeding wand, so we'll show you how we do that. But we seed our vegetable crops.
You also do it with just a little cup, and you kind of tap.
Yeah,
it
sometimes with like alyssum, and alyssum is very small seed, and I'll take and seed our alyssum, and I don't need one in each cell. So it's called a 288 tray, and I'm going to show you. This is Cherokee purple. So I just reuse these 288 trays that we get our plugs in.
So 288 because there's 288 little cells in this entire thing.
Yep, and this wand is set up exactly for that. So it lines up with these needles exactly with that 288 cell. So
the wand system isn't anything real magical.
Yeah, it works well for the amount of seeding, and we do a lot of seeding, but we're not to that next level where we would implement and buying the machinery for a seeding machine. So this works well for us.
It takes a little bit of time, but
yeah, it's just one of those like a few days of my time, and it works pretty good. So we get our seeds. We're not buying from the grocery store, the hardware stores. We actually get from Ball Seed. We have very good luck with that. We've always had really good. So we just go through and I take a seed inventory every year, and okay, I need more of this or that, and so this is we get our actual seeds from Ball Seed. They're down in Chicago. So this is gonna get loud because this actually uses a vacuum, and so just to explain a little bit, so there's a little trough, and I lay the seeds in this trough, and it looks like a horrible torture device.
It
but
looks like a flute to me.
Okay.
I mean, not the needles.
Yeah, well, there's a little hole. There's a little hole cut out here. I don't know the whole backstory on this. This is called Grow More Wand Seeder. I kind of think it was a greenhouse guy that was very inventive and couldn't find the equipment, and this is just PVC pipe that they made up. So you can buy these online from their website. I bought this a long time. I've had this for probably a couple decades. But anyway, it's Grow More, Gromor. So it's Grow More. And it comes with different size needles. Vegetable seeds are pretty big. And but if you get into something like begonias or petunias, they're very small seeds, and so there's actually a whole kit of different size needles. They're needles, but they're not like hypodermic, like gonna poke into your skin. It just looks horrific. So what you do is I connect this to a vacuum, and so
you
that
use
vacuum.
What? Just a hand.
Yeah, I've got a DeWalt, hand vac here, so I use this. and it hooks up to this hose, and it basically is drawing a vacuum, and it can bypass that hole, but you just put your thumb over that, and then it sucks through all the needles. You go through with your tray full of seed, pick it up, and then line yourself right up with the tray with those cells, and when you take your thumb off, all the seeds drop down into each cell. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to fire it up just so I can kind of show you what this looks like.
It's not 100% perfect.
No.
Sometimes you might grab 2 seeds. Sometimes it might miss one.
And a lot of times,
but for the most part,
it
really
works
quick.
really well for us, for our purposes. It's a whole lot better than hand seeding. So that's why we use this, and I know we like to do it in the cells because from the planting portion of it, it makes it so much easier to take that plant out of its own little cell, its own little root ball, and plant it, rather than trying to scoop up some soil and separate them all out and not pull those roots all apart. It makes it a lot easier. If I know that I'm gonna some of our really popular crops, I'll seed heavier. Where if I get multiple seeds on each needle, I don't really care, because the girls will go through and transplant, and they'll just pull them apart, and it's not a big deal. Nope, nobody's complaining too heavily. So
well, you're not back here when we're complaining.
Well, exactly. So in my world, it's like, it's okay.
It's better when there's one per cell.
Okay. That's more on my part.
We'll just put that out there now.
Okay. So again, I just fill up this little trough here with the seed of what I'm doing. I'm going to go through, I'm going to fire this up so you won't be able to hear because of the noise. But I'll just kind of show what this does. So you can see there's a seed on each needle.
And now there's not.
Wait, do it one more time.
So static electricity takes a big play into it.
It's real moist in here. Another thing that
so the seeds will stick more.
It really messes with me if some drops from the condensation in the greenhouse gets into your trough. Oh, that stinks. So I go through and I wipe every time and clean it out. But it works well for us. Like I said, we're doing thousands like this, but it actually goes pretty quick. So I can do this very quickly, and you're just going back and forth, and you can do a 288 cell pretty fast. So of all the vegetables, I got all the broccoli, cauliflower, cabbages done yesterday. In a couple hours, really. It didn't take long at all. Working on the tomatoes today. We have a whole chart here. This is what I use, and it has all my vegetable crops laid out and the timeline. And it doesn't change for us from year to year. It doesn't matter what the weather is doing. These are the dates that you start your tomatoes. These are the dates that you start your peppers, because that works, and that's been proven over decades of experience for our area. It varies. If you're in the south, it's going to be way different than us in the north. Because we can't get into our gardens until after June 1st.
And we find that when the greenhouse first opens up, and we open up early in April, and those people either have little greenhouses of their own, or they want specific things, and they have to bring them in and out of the house.
They'll just come and get it. And
the vegetable plants are typically going to be very small when you first come into the greenhouse, because we're not anticipating a lot of people buying them at that point.
And this is going to be that local traffic usually that are and our locals. They know that I can't plant until June 1st my garden, because even into June sometimes we have very cold weather. Frost. So that's what works out for our area, and so I'll do I have all the peppers done already, because the peppers take a little bit longer than the tomatoes. So
And
those
that's
have
why you
already been
have.
planted.
You need a clipboard.
Yes, I know. I'm going to steal one of yours.
You can. I bought extra.
Yeah.
I'll gift it to you.
Thank you.
But that's why we have the database, because the weather will throw you off. It'll be like, oh, it's really nice, we should get this started. But statistically, this is when it happens.
Yeah.
And
if there's 3 feet of snow outside, it doesn't matter. We still stick to our game plan of tomatoes are started on this date, peppers are started on this date. So that's the job of today, is finishing up some of my seeding. And so those cold crops, the cabbage, the broccoli, cauliflower, kohlrabi, Brussels sprouts. Who even eats Brussels sprouts?
I like them.
Ugh. So, no, but
can you tell them the Mike story?
Sure. And normally that's for a Friday funny, but we'll do a funny today. So
you brought up Brussels sprouts.
One of our employees, Mike, he's always poking me. He loves to tease me, but he's like, I remember, he's like, I was thinking about you the other day. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll bite. What was this? And he said, I was thinking, if we were on a deserted island and the only thing we had to eat was Brussels sprouts, you wouldn't do very good.
He said, what would you do?
Yeah, what would you do? I'm like, well, if all we had to have was Brussels sprouts, I guess I would let you eat the Brussels sprouts. And then I would kill and eat you later on. And he's just like, that's not what I was thinking. Well, tough times. I gotta do what I gotta do. You go ahead and eat the Brussels sprouts. 2 weeks, you're going down.
He goes, I don't think we're gonna talk about Brussels sprouts anymore.
Touche. So that kind of threw him off. I'm like,
big time.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
It was really funny.
Yeah. But anyway, so
when you are done seeding this, you put a very, very light coat of germinating mix on top of it.
Yeah, so I've got a homemade...
Back to this.
Yeah. I've got a homemade little thing that has a very fine... It has a window screen on it. And I just go through and I sift that germinating mix through it, and it just puts a light dusting basically over the top of this. And then I'll kind of go through and smooth it out, and then... this goes into our propagation chamber, and it has heating mats. So we have that bottom heat, keeps it about 85 degrees day and night until this germinates, and then
mist
this
it.
will go. Yep. So and
he doesn't water it.
Yeah, you can't just water it. I mean, everything would just go all over. So we have a fine misting spray head, and we spray that down, and for the next week or so, and you just make sure that you keep these pretty moist. So that's really, and this is germinating mix. So we're not using regular soil. We're actually using germinating mix. That's the best way.
Much lighter.
Yeah. So I go through, I fill these with germinating mix. I kind of press it down a little bit so that my cells are nice and open. We seed it. We put the dusting over the top of it, and then goes into the propagation chamber. We mist that, try to keep it pretty moist. And yeah, like I said, peppers take a little bit longer. The tomatoes, probably a few days, 3-4 days, and we'll be seeing life. Some stuff it's a lot of fun with like marigolds. Marigolds is like, boom, they're up next day. It's really neat to see. You go through, seed them.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's like, by that next day, you're seeing life. But some stuff takes a long time, and that's why we have a chart that we know, this is from experience of, this stuff takes a little bit longer, this stuff is really fast. And then we'll work into our, like those bigger vegetables, like bigger seeds. So your zucchini, your pumpkins, melons, squash. That stuff, it grows so fast, it germinates fast, and it grows fast. So that's why that's probably another 2 weeks yet. It's about the time that we're opening.
Right.
I might start just a little bit early, because I know people are going to be... I know this year people are just going to be chomping at the bit, because we had this huge blizzard, and they're going to be so tired of winter that it's like, I got to get my zucchini. Well, you can't do anything with it yet, because...
And cucumbers are touchy when it comes to the cold.
Yeah.
So for anybody in our area, settle down on the cucumbers.
Yeah.
Like, just...
Come in later, because...
you
don't...
can't come in too late, because then they'll be gone. But you do have to
play that game.
Yeah, you do have to keep them inside.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily the frost that'll take care of the cucumbers. It can be a 38, 40 degree night, and all those cucumbers are done. You know, they're touchy. So, that's kind of how we do our vegetable crops in the greenhouses. It works.
Do you fertilize these?
These will get half strength in about 2 weeks once they come up. So we'll start fertilizing with the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer at a half strength dose. Once they're up, and we give them about 2 weeks, and then they'll start.
We don't give them a full dose because
we don't want them to grow.
We don't want them to go too fast.
Because we have nowhere to go with them either. Really, those people will start buying in June, late May, June. All of a sudden, that traffic for people are waiting. But
you have to remember, when we'll transplant these into little 4-pack cells, or no, singles. We have those in singles, and it's just not enough space for them to be sitting in there for a long, long time.
And I have to play that game of they'll grow so fast that I have to basically not water them. You play that really, really fine line of you keep them alive, but I try to just barely water them and keep them alive, because otherwise they just get out of hand so quick, and we're not really selling them until all of a sudden that one day everybody walks in the door and they're like, it's garden time, and then boof, they're all gone. So
that should be like a chant in the greenhouse. It's garden time. It's garden time.
It's funny. It's like boom, all of a sudden it turns on, and like everybody's walking out the door with a dozen tomatoes, or the cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower.
So tell us, what is your favorite tomato that you grow? We have a lot of standards around here because they're the ones that are the most requested. And we'll throw in new ones every so often, but we find that the sales on them we'll sit on them because people aren't familiar with them.
Yeah.
So of course, Early Girl, because it's an earlier tomato.
Yep.
That's a really popular one. The cherry tomatoes, Sweet 100 specifically.
Better Boy tomatoes are most popular, probably by numbers. Better Boy and the Big Beef. They're just solid performers.
And then there's heirloom tomatoes that are like the Purple Cherokee.
Yeah, Brandywine. This is the Cherokee Purple. This is getting very, very popular.
It is.
It's a good tomato. It's one of our favorites.
It's more of a darker, I'm not going to say it's a full purple, but it's got that darker purpley hue to it.
Yeah.
It's not a red tomato at all.
No. Good slicer for
it
like
is.
A
it's
BLT.
really good.
Yeah,
but the color will throw you off if you're thinking like a juicy red tomato and you have a purple tomato.
So,
very good.
So speaking of our Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer, we want to highlight a couple of our retailers, of course. So Krautkramer Berry Farm in Marathon, Wisconsin is one of our retailers. You can find our Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer there. And also 5 Oaks Farm in Greenhouse in Harvard, Illinois.
Perfect.
Yeah, so 5 Oaks Farm and Greenhouse in Harvard, Illinois, and then Krautkramer Berry Farm in Marathon, Wisconsin.
So if you're anywhere around those locations, stop in, grab a jar of fertilizer, say hello, tell them that we sent you.
Yeah.
That's always, like, how do you know about this? That's a great way to just say hi to them.
Right.
And if you're not in one of those areas, go on the beatyourneighbor.com and there's a retailer locator, and you can click on that map, see if there's one around you. If there is, please, please, please go visit them and tell them we sent you.
Yep.
And if there's not, we can ship it direct to 48 states.
Yeah. Very good. All right. So, off with our day.
Yes.
I'm going to finish up my tomatoes.
Are you impressed? I didn't get all full of soil.
Not yet.
I stayed on this side.
You're not out of the greenhouse yet. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. All right. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.